Cheryl and Lady coming to you from the Ladies Garden and Home. This is such a great time of year as the light gets a little bit stronger and the sun lasts a little bit longer and the birds are just a little bit more chirpier. It's very exciting to know that spring is right around the corner. And today we're going to start some peppers. So today starts the 10 weeks before my last frost date. My last frost date is supposedly April 30th, although we've notoriously had frost after that. So now is a really, really good time for me to put my peppers in. I thought I'd take you through the peppers that I'm going to grow this year. Last year I had a really great crop of jalapeno peppers. Lots and lots and lots of jalapenos, which is great, but I don't eat them very much. And I did grow some bell peppers, and I wish I had had more of them. So this year I'm going to try a couple of new varieties. I'm going to be planting this Keystone Resistant Giant Pepper from M.I. Gardner. It looks like a good stuffing pepper and also a good slicing pepper. Last year I grew this sweet pepper. It's called Great Stuff Hybrid from Burpee, and it was a really nice pepper. It had good flavor, so I'm hoping to get more of those. And to try something a little different, I'm going to try growing a pimento pepper. See if I can use them to stuff some olives. Alma paprika, also from M.I. Gardner. The hot peppers that I grew last year, the jalapenos, they were quite prolific. This is called Jalapeno Early. I was gifted two pepper plants last year by my mom. I have no idea if they were hybrids. I have no idea if they're heirlooms, but I decided to save the seeds and grow them again. One is a cherry pepper. It was great because they didn't take very long to ripen. And this one was like an orange banana pepper. Then I have one last surprise, which is going to be in Scott Heed's Single Seed Challenge 2022. He's been doing this a couple of years. He's issued a single seed challenge to gardeners all over the world for this year to just grow one single seed of one particular plant and then baby that plant from the time it's planted to the time it germinates to the time you transplant it out, from beginning to end, the entire cycle of a plant. My single seed challenge is going to be, so without any further ado, let's get over to the sink and start sowing some peppers. Okay, so the first thing that I did, and I did this yesterday, is I mixed up some potting mix. I mixed it up based on my recipe that I posted a video about a couple of weeks ago, and if you want to see that, I will put the link to that video here. So right now it's a good consistency, if you can see. It holds together, but it still breaks apart very easily. So the next thing I did was I made sure that these were nice and clean, the trays that I'm going to start them in. They're kind of deep, but that's okay because basically I want to keep them in here as long as I can because they're going to be inside for so long and not planted out until the middle of May or even late May, that they need a little bit more space. I'm going to have to pot them up anyway into even bigger pots most likely, but let's start them off well. And I do this over the bowl because that way anything that spills ends up back in the bowl. Now, as you can see, I'm tamping down pretty well. Want to get it nice and firm. I don't go straight to the top. I like leaving a little bit of room, as you can see. And when you're handling seeds, you always want to make sure that your hands are dry. Otherwise, they'll stick to your hands and drive you crazy. So here's the Keystone Resistant Giant. And I'm going to want 3 plants. Here, let's get you closer. I'm not going to use my fingers today. I'm going to use this because I don't want to get my hands wet. Just make a little indent in the center here. These are planted at 1/4 of an inch deep. And I'm going to drop 3 in each hole. And if I get germination on all 3, what I'm going to do is thin out one of them because I want 2 plants growing up per cell. I've done this many times where I plant together 2 pepper seeds. They grow up together and then you get double the amount of peppers. Then I mark it on my yogurt tub marker. This row going this way. We got the great stuff. Same thing, 3 in each hole. Always close it back up with a paper clip. Then I'm just gonna lightly put a little bit just to cover them up. Tamp them down so that you know that they're making contact with the soil and not just sitting in an air pocket. And then make sure we mark it correctly. And this one's ready for its plastic bag. Now, I'll do the next tray, and this will be a tray of all mixed, the other types of peppers I mentioned. Okay, so here are the different varieties that I'm trying. I'm not overplanting this year because I know the space that I have and it can only accommodate about 12 plants. So that's 12 pepper plants. So that's what we've got here. And if something doesn't germinate, it's okay. I'll try again. That's all. It's early enough in the season that if you do have some sort of a failure at this point, you can start again. Okay, here's the cherry peppers, orange banana, paprika, pimento, and jalapeno. Cover them over. Spray them in. So while we're at it, I thought I would also start my eggplant. This is early morning hybrid from Burpee. And because the growing conditions are very similar to peppers, we start them early on a heating mat. And actually, this is the first year I'm using a heating mat. I've always felt it was warm enough, but I don't know. So many people suggested that it's an easier, faster way to germinate peppers and eggplants. So I'm going to use a heating mat. But I thought I'd go ahead and do this while we're at it because they're all going to be growing up in very similar conditions. I'm going to start them off in this size pot. And I'm only doing 3. That's all I did last year. I had an overabundance of eggplant. And the reason that I'm using a single pot for these 3 is because I don't want to mix my plants in different flats. I made the mistake once of doing that, and things that were ready to go out were in the flats, and things that were not ready to go out were in the same flats. Getting down to the bottom of the bag. Ooh, I only have 3 seeds. Well, let's hope they germinate, and if they don't, I'll try again. I'm going to use the smaller baggies for these individual pots. And we're just going to leave them in the baggies until they germinate and their heads pop up a little bit. Then we'll uncover them, give them some nice sun. I like the baggies because they make nice humidity domes. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the Single Seed Challenge 2022. And for this, I'm doing this pepperoncini. I grew up in an Italian home, and pepperoncinis were in every antipasto dish that I ever saw. And I just love them. That little bit of heat, that real tang of the vinegar peppers. So I decided that I'm going to name my pepperoncini plant. His name is going to be Mancini. Mancini pepperoncini. Yeah. So. And for this challenge, there's no backup. It's one seed. Sorry, fella. Only one. Only one. Here we go. Good luck, Mancini. Mancini, my pepperoncini. Okay. And now we're going to place them on the heating mat. It's warm. I put it on cardboard so that it doesn't touch up against the wood of my table. But, you know, I'm limited on space here, so I thought this would be a good spot. Well, that wasn't so hard, was it? It was a lot of fun. And we got those peppers off to a really great start, I hope. And I'll bring you along the way and show you how they're coming along. If you're interested in taking the Single Seed Challenge, I actually really encourage you to try, even if you've never grown anything before or even if you're a really long-established gardener. And I'm excited. I hope you're excited about Mancini pepperoncini. But if you would like to do the challenge, and head over to his channel. It's called the Black Gumbo channel on YouTube. And last year, people from around the world participated in this challenge. And if you do, film yourself planting your seeds and taking care of them and planting them out. Whenever you post something, just use the hashtag Single Seed Challenge 2022. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like. If you'd like to see some more of my videos in the future as I bring everybody up to date on the progress and plant more things, I hope you subscribe and hit the alert bell so you'll see it when it comes available. Thank you for joining me today from the Ladies Garden and Home. I hope you enjoy your gardening journey. Bye. Say goodbye, lady.